Come on, you Reds. Hey guys, what's going on? It is Talk Force TV. We are back. To my left, we've got Matt.
Daniel, hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Hope you're well and had a good New Year.
Yeah, not too bad. As long as I can stop coughing for 5 minutes, I'll be all right. But other than that, yeah, not too bad. Looking forward to getting back to the City Ground this weekend, all being well.
Yeah,
Sickness and illness permitting.
Yeah, it'll be our first home game since New Year, well, COVID permitting, and it's brings Arsenal to the City Ground.
Yeah, it'd be a nice occasion, wouldn't it? It seems like it's an annual thing now. So see what Coops does, what kind of a team he puts out, make sure everyone's sort of fit. There have been quite a few that have been sort of dodging the old variants down there, but hopefully we can put out the team he wants to put out or something close to it, and maybe some of the injury people will get back as well with a bit of luck.
I mean, it seemed that Barnsley game got called off, but hopefully that Cooper does actually get to that sort of 11 that he wants. I mean, he already got 2 new signings in already this week, so hopefully that he is starting to get that sort of that close to the 11 team that he wants.
Yeah, well, it does seem like he's keen on playing a back three, hence Cook. We've got a few centre halves though as well. I mean, Mbeso and even Fernandez and of course the Brazilian, Mr. Rodrigo, who we're yet to witness. So and Figs, of course. So I don't know what the plan is. I mean, really, we've got too many of them, but maybe Figs has been sort of shown the door a couple of times, probably totally unfairly, but because he's been a really good servant for the club over the years. But yeah, you have to wonder what's in their head. But it does seem to be definitely to play a back three, and maybe a bit more leadership on the pitch, a bit more maturity. So good signing, Cook, definitely. Davis, well, less of a known quantity, but be interesting to see with him as well. And there's loads more in the offing apparently. So let's hope it's not all based on selling one of the big assets.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them ones. How said with Cook that he will give that bit more of a experience set at the back. I mean, fair enough, grabbing the captaincy, but he's sort of top of the pitch. So to have that bit more of experience set at the back to probably help Walwell and McKenna with that championship. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are probably the best defensive partnership in the league, but you probably need that bit more of someone that been there, done it, got the t-shirt.
Well, yeah, he's definitely done that. I mean, in a way, it's perverse because, like you say, I mean, the centre halves, goalkeeper, whatever you want to say, the defence, even the sort of the defensive midfielders you can include in that when they're the right ones, the first choices, done a fantastic job there. A bit of the team which definitely is working. So why, if it ain't broke, don't mess with it. But if he does want to play three at the back and he does think, an old head will help, which we definitely haven't really got at the moment. Maybe it's key. And obviously, getting him for nothing at a reasonable age is good business, isn't it? Really, if we'd had to pay $1 million or $2 million for him, his wages would have been fairly substantial, I imagine. So, getting him for nothing, pay him a bit extra. So it's a good business as far as I'm concerned, probably.
I mean, it is to a fair. I mean, we're also looking at getting Richie Hardie's bit of unknown quantity as well, and it will offer that bit more of a versatility to the fullbacks.
Yeah, well, obviously the main thing is the left back situation. So if we can have someone to fill in there at the very least, and if we can get someone as a first choice in all the time, whether it's Buchanan or Max Lowe, who I would favour, it's got to be done, hasn't it? Because that causes no end of problem. Got your business sorted out there?
Yeah, definitely. it just goes to show that, like you said, we need to strengthen that fullback area, especially the left back. Obviously, Drag is unavailable for the month now because with Afghan. So getting that fullback side of things sorted will definitely be good, especially if we get Buchanan in as well. I mean, if we do get that left-sided sorted and obviously have someone who can play with a bit more freedom, it just gives us that bit more option in playing the back three, back four, and it just changes up, especially if we have got all these centre halves.
Personally, I'd just like us to buy players who are definite first choices. You know, when you think about it, how many signings do we make which aren't just sort of for numbers and for no apparent reason at all? I mean, Cook may be one that fits the bill in that respect. Maybe he is someone they're going to play every week. But you're looking back, you're looking at the likes of Graben, you know, Britt, those kind of guys, you know, Antonio, those guys were people you were going to pick every week. But, you know, even Carvalho, they didn't, you know, only persevered with for a little while despite the price tag. It'd be nice if we really tried to mainly, at least 50% of the time, buy people, whatever the cost, that are better than what we have for sure. You know, in the case of, I don't know, someone like Spence or someone like Lowe, where you know they're going to be first team players every week. And forget about all these sort of fringe players, because at the moment we're paying, you know, a fortune. I don't know, maybe $100,000 to people who probably we're never ever going to see pull the shirt on again, whether it's sort of Arter, even Bong, even though he's sort of, you know, ghost in the team sort of thing. Bong and Jenkinson, people like that, who, you know, I don't necessarily blame them, but they're not in the picture and they're not going to get a look in anytime soon. And we're paying a lot of money to some of the loan players as well. I'd rather be spending that on players who we're going to keep and we're developing ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, we seem to be forming the bomb squad again. But I mean, hard to
get the bomb squad back together.
Yeah, get the band back. But yeah, we got Jenko, we got Bomb, we got Arthur, and I think there's something about $50,000 a week or something for three of them, let alone say. I mean,
yeah, I think more, probably more.
Yeah.
They're probably three of the biggest paid players in the team. You'd probably be quite surprised at how little some of the first team players get. You know, those guys are literally on 10 times, maybe more, than the people who are playing every week, which is ridiculous. You know, it shouldn't happen like that, should it? If, you know, you get your ducks in a row, and those sort of things shouldn't happen. It happens a lot with us. You want your money on the pitch. So, you know, I'd like to see us spend, you know, big money or get people in on free who are going to at least play every week and pay them a lot of money each week. But get the wages on the pitch.
Yeah, definitely.
And use the kids, give the kids a chance as well, because we've got a lot of talented kids. And the other side of the coin, you want to sign players who you're going to play, and you want to give opportunities to the kids to find out if they're good enough. You know, if they're not good enough, fine. But a lot of them, we've had some good players that have never had a chance. And really, I don't know, if you compare our signings to the kids that have come through the academy, I think our academy kids have done better. They've got a better hit rate, haven't they, than the people we go out and sign to you know, choose them above the kids. So I'd rather give the kids a go. They should be known about, and they should, you know, they're ours already. Give them a go and see what they can do.
Definitely. I mean, when I see back and forth in the squad against Huddersfield, I know it was very much. I mean, not saying that they wouldn't have been chose, but I mean, with everything what gone off with around the Huddersfield game, I mean, when I see, especially Forner being in the squad, I mean, back being in the squad anyway with from the Middlesbrough game, so I totally agree with we should be getting the youngsters in. I mean, what you say, especially with Swan and Taylor, if they're not going to get chosen for the first team, to send them out on loan and actually give them that experience.
that's what I was just going to say. I think this month could almost be as important for us to put some of those really promising kids out on loan and repeat what happened to Brennan Johnson, hopefully. That could almost be as important as the people we get in on loan and or even sign. Fauna is at that age. You're probably right. His injuries permitting, he's probably not going to get used a lot, and he's going to probably spend his time sort of half 1 foot on the bench now and again, sort of thing. Which doesn't really do him that much good. There's a kickabout before the game starts and gets used to being on the pitch, but that's about it. He could probably do with 6 months, the rest of the season off, getting some games. He's done it before. The same with Back. I think Back, his ability's not in question really, but he could do with a lot of game time at a higher level just to sort of make him feel a little bit more at home. And the other two you said, Taylor. I mean, Taylor's actually probably one of the more mature players out of Fauna as well, but Taylor seems comfortable. He seems like an older player than he is. I don't know really. It's difficult. They'll know those kids better than we do. But it'd be nice if they could all go out and get a bit of experience, and they're all sort of chomping at the bit, I think. And then next season, hopefully, there'll be an opportunity to get some of them in and a few of them on the bench all the time.
Yeah, definitely. With Arsenal coming up on Sunday, especially with everything, obviously they lost at the weekend to Man City, which very, very unlucky to lose against Man City. I mean, and with their game against Liverpool being rearranged now for 2 weeks, I mean, would you be expecting Arsenal to be putting out a fully fed team or more of a squad game, especially with them having the game against Liverpool next week?
It's tough, isn't it? You don't really know. I mean, it's a tricky one. And again, they might be like us. They might be COVID affected and so forth. Who knows, really? But I would imagine they'll go halfway between the two, and they'll probably play a few kids, and they'll have a fairly strong team. I would have thought they'd just be trying to not so much worry about us, in all honesty, but prepare themselves for the cup game following it next week, and they'll probably fall between two stools and have a decent team out, but a few kids in amongst it, perhaps. But it's the same for us, isn't it? Do we put out our strongest team, or do we again field a few kids? I don't know. We might. What you think?
I think he will have a couple of kids on the bench. I mean, I won't play past with Cooper. I mean, he'll probably try and put that artist to run this possible team with his bench being more kids than I have a couple of reserves just in case, but throw probably 1 or 2 extra kids on the bench just to get them into the rhythm of being in the first team.
Yeah, we could do with getting like Lolly back, couldn't we, as well? He's been away a bit, and who else? Well, I don't know. But obviously, Lowe is the big one to get back involved, and the others are a little bit further away, aren't they? But I don't know what's going on with Figs and even Yates missing the last couple of games.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get Yates back into that midfield. Not saying that Ojo or Garner can't do the job against Arsenal. It's just nice to get that bit more of a Yates back and who can probably offer that bit more defensively and attacking that. Whereas Garner will just offer that gameplay. I mean, Yates will offer that a lot more in there.
Yeah, but yes, obviously he's had his COVID issues, I think, and hopefully he won't have any sort of long-term effects, and he'll be back sort of good as gold before we know it, and he can pick up things where he left them off. And again, obviously with Colback missing, Cooper's had a tricky time, hasn't he, the last 2 games, and he's come up a bit short. We could have ended up drawing them both, or if we've been a little bit lucky, but things just haven't quite worked out. We've ended up getting beaten on both occasions. So his resources have been stretched a little bit thin. It's interesting. I mean, we want to get back to winning ways. Arsenal's are obviously not going to be an easy game at all to do that. It's a shot to nothing. It's kind of tricky. It's a shame we're not having a league game, probably. But I don't know. You could easily have your third defeat, especially if you put out a weaker team, and it's not good to keep losing, is it? Really? So I think you'll want to do something, but you don't want to go crazy, do you?
No. What would the scoreline be on Sunday?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, it's got to be finished on the night anyway, so we probably will be expecting
a result. We'll get a result anyway. That's one thing. So I suppose we can't say a draw, even if we're going to get penalties. Be nice to get Lehigh back at left back, wouldn't it? He could probably do something. Get his boots out. One more hurrah.
Get a second dad as well and call him Wenger.
Yeah, realistically, I think you've got to assume they're probably going to put out a reasonably strong team, and we're going to be up against it. And I think we'd probably lose by the odd goal, whether it's 1-0 or 2-1, if you ask me to bet money on it. But we'll know a lot more when the team sheet comes out, won't we?
Yeah, definitely. I do agree with that.
Because we've got not only the tactical side of it, but all the sort of COVID issues. And the game might not be played, so we might not get a result on Sunday because for those reasons as well. So it's a little bit speculative at the moment, but fingers crossed it'll all go ahead because we could do get the games in. And we're still sitting pretty in the league, so we don't want to keep losing, but it'd be nice to put on a bit of a display. Have a good evening one way or another, whether win, lose or draw, and then get back to business in the league.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It might be nice to see Davis make his debut.
Perhaps. Yeah, I mean, he will offer that something different. Not saying that Taylor and Grabban not offered it, because we all know what Grabban is, and obviously Taylor's been an hit and miss, but Davis will be he will offer that something different, that
kind of target man kind of thing, isn't it? He won't score bags of goals, but last time we played Arsenal, Brereton played really well and held the ball up and won free kicks and things. So, it's not a bad tactic for a lower division team to get the ball up there and rely a little extent on set pieces and so forth.
Yeah, definitely. I do actually agree with that. And so
let's cross our fingers and just hope it's an entertaining game and it's half as good as the last time we played them.
Yeah, and we get to see some. Hopefully, Spence get 2 goals, and
he needs to buy a dog afterwards.
Yeah, go and do that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So I hope someone needs to buy a pet, and then on the news the next morning, tell us all about it. It'll be a night to remember.
Definitely. So I'd like to say thank you for coming on.
Thanks very much, Dan.
That's right. So I'd like to thank you for watching, guys.